بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إذ هم الطائفتان منكم أن تفشلا والله وليهما وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون ولقد نصركم الله ببدر وأنتم أذلة فاتقوا الله لعلكم تشكرون إذ تقول للمؤمنين ألن يكفيكم أن يمدكم ربكم بثلاثة آلاف من الملائكة منزلين بلى إن تصبروا وتتقوا ويأتوكم من فورهم هذا يمددكم ربكم بخمسة آلاف من الملائكة مسومين وما جعله الله إلا بشرى لكم ولتطمئن قلوبكم به وما النصر إلا من عند الله العزيز الحكيم ليقطع طرفا من الذين كفروا أو يكبتهم فينقلبوا خائبين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين الحمد لله رب العالمين. So last week the ayat that we recited talked about Uhud, and the main discussion is about Uhud, but here today inshallah the 2 or 3 ayat that we read, they in the middle talk about Badr, and it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought it in context of Uhud, although Badr, the battle of Badr took place first, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing the his command of taqwa and tawakkul over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he is reminding the mu'mineen of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped them when they were very few in Badr because of their reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on tawakkul. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ Ayah 122, the last sentence of Ayah 122, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. It talks about a very special property of the believers, which is tawakkul. What is tawakkul? Tawakkul is that mu'minun, the believers, rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it should be understood that tawakkul is something that you have a firm belief that whatever is going to happen, it is going to happen with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does not mean that we should give up using the means or the asbab. So for example, a very classic example that ulama give, it is written in books, is that if somebody has a camel and they go somewhere, they should go, tawakkul would be not to leave the camel open, untied, untethered, and think that rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the protection of the camel, but tawakkul would be that you tie the camel to something, to somewhere, and then rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is not going to go away. The cord is not going to break, or it is not going to be stolen or something. So tawakkul is that you first achieve or use the means and then rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the results. Means in themselves do not have the capacity to produce a result of their own. Even means are dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to produce a result. Okay. And this would, the notion that tawakkul means that Muslims should even give up the means, or Muslims should not even in their heart even think about using means, will be negated in the future ayat that talk about Badr. وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. Allah certainly supported you at Badr when you were weak. Antum adillah, you were weak. So it should be understood here, and in context of Badr at another place in the Quran as well. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. You were adillah. Zillat would mean you were inferior, or you were less in honor. If you do not know the muhawra of the Arab people of that time. If you know the muhawra of the Arab people of that time, we know that adillah was not, or does not only mean less in honor, but it also means less in number. So here the meaning is that you were weak, or you were less in number. You were few, basically. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. So fear Allah that you may be grateful. So as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped you, although you were less in number and you were weak, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped you because you had taqwa and you had reliance. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. In the context of Uhud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding Muslims of Badr, that in Badr, as just like in Badr you were few, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped you. So you should always have taqwa and reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِذْ تَقُولُ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَلَنْ يَكْفِيَكُمْ أَنْ يُمِدَّكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ بِثَلَاثَةِ آلَافٍ مِنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُنْزَلِينَ. When you were saying to the believers, shall it not suffice you that your Lord should help you with 3,000 of the angels sent down for you? So the Prophet ﷺ was given the glad tidings that 3,000 angels would be sent down to support Muslims. Now if you think about it, in the next ayah as well, بَلَا إِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا وَيَأْتُوكُم مِّن فَوْرِهِمْ هَذَا يُمْدِدْكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ بِخَمْسَةِ آلَافٍ مِّنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُسَوِّمِينَ. We'll do the translation first and then talk about why asbab are also important. Of course, if you stay, of course, so it's like an affirmative of course, if you stay patient and fear Allah, and they come upon you even in this heat of theirs, your Lord will reinforce you with 5,000 of the angels, each having distinct marks. So the question arises that first Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send down 3,000 angels. Then if they come at once, if they attack you suddenly, all of them, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send 5,000 angels. The question is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one, if asbab are of no importance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully capable of helping the Muslims without asbab, without talking about angels. The other thing is that why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you with 3,000 angels, and if they all attack you at once, Allah will help you with 5,000 angels. That means that numbers are also important. This means that numbers are also important, but in the next ayah they are important for who? Not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for people. وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرَى لَكُمْ وَلِتَطْمَئِنَّ قُلُوبُكُمْ بِهِ. And Allah did this solely to make it a good news for you and so that your hearts may be addressed with it. So even with tawakkul, even with taqwa, numbers have this property of giving peace and confidence to the hearts of even the best of Muslims. This is the meaning that has been driven from these 2 or 3 ayat. Of course, the apparent translation is clear. But even with taqwa and even with reliance, asbab are still important. Asbab still have the capacity to give confidence to the hearts of believers. But 2 things should be mentioned that have already been mentioned. Number one, they are not important for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully capable of helping people and doing things even with asbab, without asbab, all of that. For the bushra, for giving good, happy news, for giving contentment, if that is a word, to the hearts of humans, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used numbers. Therein is evidence that numbers are important. وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَكِيمِ. Otherwise, victory is from none but Allah, the All-Powerful, the All-Wise. So we've already mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not dependent on numbers. Numbers are important for the contentment and peace of hearts. They have a way of making hearts content. لِيَقْطَعَ طَرَفًا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَوْ يَكْبِتَهُمْ فَيَنْقَلِبُوا خَائِبِينَ. Allah helped you so that He may cut off a flank of disbelievers or a branch of disbelievers or throw them down in disgrace and they go back frustrated. So, if you do not know the story of Badr, so essentially what happened in Badr is that, we talked about it last time too, but Muslims were initially thinking of going after the wealth of kuffar. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in another place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentioned it, that you were going after that group of kuffar which did not have shawkat. Again, that same thing. Shawkat or shawka would mean honor, but here again this means that غَيْرَ ذَاتِ الشَّوْكَةِ, Muslims were going behind the group of the kuffar that did not have a lot of honor. But again, shawka also means that those that were coming with not honor but a lot of show, a lot of show. So this trade caravan that was going, headed by Abu Sufyan, they did not have a lot of arms. They were basically a trade caravan. But the one that came from Makkah under the leadership of Abu Jahl, that had army and that had singing women and all full military preparation. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the situation to be in such a way that Muslims came face to face at the place of Badr with the army of the kuffar. And the Muslims were initially willing and looking to go after the wealth, the trade caravan, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had intended to cut off a flank, لِيَقْطَعَ طَرَفًا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had decided that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will humiliate the kuffar and will disgrace them through this battle, that the Muslim army, which was not even ready for battle and they were so few in number, they came to face with the best army of the kuffar and they defeated them. So this was the intention of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Badr, and so it happened. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these 3 ayat in the middle reminded Muslims about their tawakkul and taqwa in Badr and how it helped them and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped them in return. Now inshallah tomorrow we'll return to the discussion of Uhud. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin, Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin, sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi, Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amin.